Okie dokie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition on the Joshua Files podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a good week so far on a Monday. I've been having quite a busy week so far from last week. Some of you might be thinking to yourself, why have I not posted any recent content for the last week? So one of my interview sessions with Daryl had to be rescheduled to today. So that's completely one of the reasons, which is fine. Home and I had a chat about it, and here we are. I was supposed to have a session on a Saturday with a Daryl guitarist, Mike Aston, but unfortunately, nothing really happened. I didn't have a communication for him for the past week, and it kind of sucks because I was putting my time into it. You know, I chat with him, but he never really got back to me. And I hope either way, Mike is doing well. I'm sure everything at the moment down to the US is a little bit tough with all the circumstances. So my health is always going to be very wishful thinking. Hopefully he's staying safe and hopefully he's doing okay. Hopefully he does come back to and speak to me. Then we can have a session in the future. You know, I'm putting the time into it for people, and you know, I've just spoken to Daryl off the camera. Basically, it's just we're both putting our times into it for projects, bands, or anything, and you know, it's more like Daryl's put his time into it for the band of Scordatura for many years, and I'm doing this as well, paying my backwards for the people I'm doing sessions with. So I really apologize for the lack of content last week. But to make it up to you guys, I've got 2 double sessions on today. I've got one on Thursday and I've got one on Saturday, just to make it up to you guys. Thank you very much for all of you just viewing the last sessions, listen to them, giving subscription on the YouTube account, leaving like on the Facebook pages. You know, it means a lot. I don't expect anything less. Yes, let's get into this one because I've got a double duty session today. So this first session is with an individual that I've known for many years. I'm going to lose track how many years I've known this guy because it's been a long time. Another Scots person as well. So I'm interviewing a lot of Scottish people at the moment compared to English people, which is very interesting. But this one is really decent folk. He is the frontman vocalist of Scordatura, Mr. Daryl Boyce. How are you doing, man? It's good to see you once again.
It is also good to see you, Joshua. Thanks very much for having me on. I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty well. Considering it's a Monday, no one likes a Monday. But yeah, I'm pretty good. What about yourself, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing not too bad. I'm off today, so it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. Like, I do like a Monday because I'm off on a Monday, so it's kind of like a good reason to why I like Mondays. But
well, I'll rephrase that. No one likes a Monday except Joshua.
But to be fair, I at the time never really liked them when I was working. So to have myself off from work and to say, you know, it's all good for me. But yeah, as you just mentioned, we haven't really seen each other for quite a long time because of not just COVID, but obviously stuff has happened.
Death to cancer 2019, I think I last seen you.
That was the last time.
But about a year ago then? That was about this time last year, I believe.
Something like that.
Damn, that's went quick.
Yeah, it definitely went quick for sure. But my first question is, do you remember the first time we met?
Was it Oxford on tour with Black Skies Burn?
Yes.
2014 maybe?
I think it was 2013. Because I think 2014, you guys did a show with Blood Red Throne, and that was
right, okay, that's what it would have been.
I remember that one, but it might have been the same time when you guys played in Oxford at 2014 as well.
It was either 2013 then or 2014, but it was the Wheat Sheaf in Oxford when we toured with Black Skies Burn.
That's it, yeah.
I remember that.
The first time, and I think I on Facebook, it was probably the same time when we got to know each other as well. Like, I probably added you first and I said to you, I'm coming to the show. It'd be great to see you along with the other boys from Scordatura.
Yeah.
Owen, Tam, Dave at the time when he was in the band. Fucking hell, Dave, it must have been 2013 or something, because that was a long time ago, you know, for Dave.
I think you might be right there. I think it might have been, because I think we maybe just dropped our first album and then went out on tour for a few days with it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'd need to go back and look at it, but
yeah, no, I think you're completely right. It's definitely, you had that first album tour of the week out, and you was doing like a couple of shows, album release show.
Right.
And I know for a fact Oxford wasn't a big hit, but it was for me to remember that was the first time I saw you guys.
I had a lot of fun at that show. You know, the dude that normally drives for Black Skies Burn, Bum.
Yeah, Bum.
Yeah, he split his head open at that show because he was doing it.
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
that was a really good show actually. I had so much fun with that show. That was actually really good.
Yeah, Oxford, the We Sheep always brings out good fucking memories, and it'd be nice to actually go back there one day, because like when I spoke to you on the phone today, messaging wise, as people who don't know, I do speak to people offline about life and everything. Obviously, I mentioned to Daryl about housing and stuff, so I'm trying to move near where Chris Marksey is living, so
is it Dipcot or something?
It's in Dipcot, yeah. That's where nearly all the Black Skies Burn boys are. So it'd be great to go and live there, I think, because housing-wise, it's not too expensive, but Oxfordshire is expensive with tax.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it's fucking hell. It's definitely been a long time, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, I know, definitely. That was a long time ago. And again, Oxford was a great show. Hopefully we can get back there sometime. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we have to speak to Chris about that. But I know he's got a little one now, so that's fantastic for Chris, because now he's a father. So I'm really glad to see that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it was a little girl. So it's really, really cool to see Chris as a dad. But I think he's a little bit bummed because now he can't really go around and get pissed all the time. Now he's got to take responsibility.
No, definitely. That guy likes his drink. He likes to booze.
Absolutely, he does. And he still can fucking play, even piss as a fart.
I know. Oh, he's so funny. His stage faces are hilarious.
That's you know. He always does it. I don't know why he always does it, but I am going to try to get him on the podcast and actually speak to him about why he always does that. Every fucking time. He always has stage faces. It's just probably purposes, you know. But yeah, so what's been going on with you recently since, you know, COVID has happened and there's always been limited amount of stuff for people to do because like shows are not happening. Shows also not being happening as well.
We actually landed kind of lucky in that respect because we had a few shows at the start of the year and we managed to get out and do stuff. We went to Germany for a headline show. We played a festival in Russia. I unfortunately didn't make that show. I was going through some stuff at that point. And then we done a show in Preston, another headline show, and then we done the warm-up show for FinFest down in London at the Nambucca. So we had some pretty good shows this year, and then we went and recorded our third album in March. I finished recording the vocals, and then the next week lockdown happened, so we managed to get the album done without any delays, which was excellent. But apart from that, I've just been working, to be honest. I've been working, just trying to get like merch and stuff ready for the album coming out, trying to get some press lined up for it. And I've got a couple of other things in the works. I'm doing an album with a friend of mine. I can't say too much about that. And I've got this other thing currently in the works as well. Hopefully that can all be announced in the next few weeks or whatever. But been keeping busy nonetheless.
No, that's really good. I mean, you just got to try to keep yourself occupied as much as possible. Because I know many people are going to be staying at home, be thinking, what can I do? I need to start being a bit more creative with things. Like there's some people just doing like just housing workouts, like fitness workout at home. They're just doing that more than just trying to go to the gym and then risk their health.
Definitely.
People are doing like Twitch streaming sessions on like online video game sessions. So Jason Evans does that quite a bit. Frequently.
Yeah. I've seen some of his like Twitch links. I've actually not tuned in and checked any of it out yet, but I'll get round to that at some point.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I did participate with him for a charity stream, so that was quite not long ago, like a couple of months ago now. But it was really cool to do something like
That's
that.
cool, man.
You know, yeah.
That's very cool.
It was about
one thing I have noticed during this lockdown. I've been listening to a lot more music. I've been checking out a lot more like new bands and stuff, and a lot more new albums, which is it's pretty good. Normally, I just listen to like I don't know, like the same 10 albums or whatever I have been for like the past 15 years or something. But this lockdown's really bringing the best out in musicians. I think, to be honest, they're releasing excellent music. Bands are really stepping up their game with us.
Like we do have like a common of music taste where some bands actually do fucking hit up the pace and actually do good music. Like I know there'll be some bands that we have common interests, like Blood Incarnation, for example, or Tomb Mold, you know, stuff like that. Really fucking decent. To really first ask you a question is, what actually got you into the old school death metal variety? Because I know that you've got an obituary tattoo on you. And
it's all here. It's all here.
Yeah. It's there, you know, and that's one of the things I remember, you
know. It's quite interesting, actually. Believe it or not, my mum actually got me into like the sort of old school death metal and stuff. She introduced me to like Morbid Angels, Blessed Are the Sick, and Altars of Madness and stuff, and I was like, holy shit, this is this is very much what I like. This is awesome. I mean, it obviously started out the way most people do, with like being at school, hanging out with people, oh, do you listen to Metallica? Do you listen to Slipknot? And then after that, the bands like this, like, it's not like they don't do it for me. They're still pretty good bands, but I need something heavier and I need something a bit weirder.
Yeah.
And then my mum told me about Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'll check this out. And I was like, wow, this is a game changer. This is what I love.
No, that's fucking decent. And to have someone like a family influence actually got you into it, like a mum done it. Like,
I know it's.
I know there are some people
blown away by it all the time.
I know some people would say, "Oh, my brother got me into it," or "My dad got me into it," but just hear someone say, "My mum's done it," I think that's fucking interesting.
I mean, my old man, he's into metal, but it's not like death metal or black metal or anything like that. He likes his Metallica, like his favourite band in the world. He likes Megadeth, Slayer, Pantera. So I think the heaviest he'll probably go is like, I don't know, maybe like Slayer probably. Slayer or Pantera, I believe.
That's always a good thing. You know, you got to have that music change. You know, sometimes like you got to have a bit of a mixture. You can't just stick to one genre all the time. You got to have a little bit of a mixture of a bit of thrash metal, some bit of old school death metal. You know, you got to have a mixture. I mentioned about a few times to people, like, you've got to have to be open-minded and explore with the music that you listen to. Like, I listen to fucking jazz and blues, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, I'm the same. I mean, over the years, I've just kind of, I think I've thickened myself with a lot of metal over the years. So now I'm looking for like weirder and stranger sounding music. I listen to, you know, like a lot of Mr. Bungle. That's like weirdness at its finest.
Yeah.
You know Federico, don't you, from Acricock?
Yeah, I remember him ages ago. Then he kind of disappeared because I haven't spoken to him for a fucking long time. I think he blocked me or something, but I was like, I remember.
I think he actually got rid of his Facebook. but he's actually in Ireland at the moment. I went over to Ireland. I think it was last August to see him,
Okay.
and he showed me like loads and loads of cool bands. This band called the Kilimanjaro Dark Jazz Ensemble. It's out of this world.
Nice.
And then he just sent me links to all this weird music, and I was like, do you know something? I can get into this. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really dark sounding. I'm very much into this, so I'm just trying to look for like new weird music now, to be honest. Cause
yeah, I mean, there was a thing like the alien, realistic, spacey music out there, and stuff like that can be fucking awesome too. I think there was a band called Meth Witch that could be.
Where do they get these names from? Honestly, some band names like really, really crack me up. It's amazing. Meth Witch, that's incredible.
Meth Witch, Gate Creeper, Two Mold. What was the other bands I mentioned? There's stuff like that you'd be thinking, where the fuck do they get their names from? Like you just said, you know, it's really, really interesting. But
I will say though, Two Mold is a really cool name for a band, and they're also a very cool band as well. So good.
Definitely. They have that aura, they have that music standard as well, and it's fucking decent. Like many people say, oh, fucking Two Mold, that's fucking great, you know.
I know so many people I know, oh, fuck that band. They just sound like Incantation. I mean, Incantation are fantastic. How can you be shit and sound like Incantation? That's nonsense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy, isn't it? But
that's crazy. Like, I think people just enjoy hating on bands that do well, to be honest. I think that's what the problem is with the music scene today. It's like when a band starts doing a bit better, they're like, oh, that band's selling out or whatever.
I don't think it's about selling out. It's just if people are really hooked on it, then people are going to stay onto it. Like
exactly. I mean, if a band's good, then people should like them. I mean,
but one thing
I don't see the problem.
One thing I knew for a fact is when you listen to bands like Two Mold or whatever, their merchandise gets sold so quickly.
So quick. I mean,
so crazy, man.
Is it their new album? I picked up their new album on vinyl, Planetary Clairvoyance, I think, and I paid something like, I don't know, £45 for that. That's a lot of money for a record.
It is. It's fucking mental. And I guess you bought it. Was it second hand? Or was it brand new?
It was new. It was actually off their label, $20 spin, and
wow. And the shipping would just cost a lot of money as well, and tax.
The shipping was probably more expensive than the record was.
That's what I hate the most, because I have a thing for the fact that when you buy something from the States or whatever, let's go for the States, you go buy stuff from indie merch, and the shipping is just ludicrous.
I never order off indie merch anymore because the shipping is so high. I'm like, why is it so expensive? Like, that's the European store as well.
Really? That's bullshit.
The indie merch, the European store, the shipping is so expensive.
Well, it's probably because first with the corona and people just slash it a little bit extra on the shipping, and secondly, it's the tax as well. Customs fees, and you know, it all adds up, and it's just absolute nonsense. I mean, like the fact I just rather buy stuff when the band's coming to the tour, like local shows or whatever. So then that way,
I would rather pick up from like the show or whatever. I wouldn't want to buy it off like their like merch distributor. You know what I mean? That's not like supporting the band. That's supporting that merch store. I'd rather like go to a gig and pick up some merch.
Yeah, I think we pretty much got the common fact that we'd rather just do things in a good way instead of like the cheating way, where I'm not saying buying stuff from the distribution places are the necessary thing, but it's just if they're not going to be coming for quite a while, we would buy some stuff from like a distribution place, you know.
I mean, definitely, I don't have any problem with that. It's just when the distribution store or whatever, like, charges so much money for shipping. I mean, I don't order off indie merch anymore because of the shipping, but I know that won't stop a lot of people. People still buy shitloads of stuff off that.
I think the other thing is, like, I buy some stuff from like Indonesia, for example. Like I buy my stuff from like the Bro Death Metal music, merchandise and stuff. Like, shipping can be horrendous as well. It's almost the same. It's pretty much the same price. Like the US shipping fee. That's about. I was going to buy some stuff like Hematomony, like the new recent artwork long sleeve shirt and the hat. Both of them, and compared to the shipping, that was going to be about 55 quid. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, I'm a little bit flabbergasted about it. Like, I'm happy to support the label company or the distribution company because they do a lot of stuff and it's fucking decent. But the shipping for me is becoming a massive turn down by any means, and it kind of sucks.
Especially when you're paying like £15 for a t-shirt. Then you're paying like £17-18 for shipping.
The shirt was about, in US dollars, it was about 25 US dollars because the short sleeve one was sold out. So that would have been $20.
Right, okay.
The snapback would have been about $25 as well. And then shipping just adds up as well. And it's ridiculous.
And it's all fucked after that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind doing an odd occasion, but I think distribution companies should actually start doing more promotion. Because more promotion codes for like over the sea fans, because you know shipping fees are just so expensive for everybody like yourself, myself. People want to buy stuff more frequently or regularly at the moment during the circumstances to support either distribution or banks. Like that would have been the main thing, because back to the beginning of the topic, coronavirus is coming into play where shows are not happening, you know, bands are not actually doing rehearsals, you can't get new music out, can't, you know, send out any new merchandise or anything like that. So I'm sure it's been a little bit difficult for you guys because, as you just mentioned, you had recording stuff done. Would you say, for example, you had the new album out, let's say in summer, and you guys would have done some shows to actually release a new album this year?
I've done like a few sort of interviews and stuff like that over the past couple of months, and people have been asking the same question, like, is the band suffering from it? Like, again, fortunately enough, we didn't have that much of a busy year planned out. I think the plan, like, everything's kind of went to plan for us. The only thing that's got changed was UK Death Fest in London. We were meant to be doing that.
Yeah.
But that's been moved to, I can't even remember the date. Whenever it is in August, they've just moved it to August next year. So
yeah, that would be next year. Yeah.
That's actually not bad. I think our labels originally said that it was wanting to plan for an August release for our new album, but he's pushed it back to September, so it's only like an extra month. So
yeah,
I'm totally fine with that. It's just like trying to keep social media fresh during the quiet times. That's the only thing.
Absolutely.
We still want to obviously be engaging with our fans and keeping posts somewhat relevant. I mean, recently I've just been posting a bunch of throwbacks and stuff like that, like live shows and whatever, because we haven't got anything else to show at the moment.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
Hopefully in the next, hopefully in the next month or so we can start announcing stuff for the third album, and then we can get the ball rolling with that, get some new merch and stuff up for pre-order, hopefully get some shows sorted for next year to promote the album. So everything is kind of going to plan for us at the moment this year. So I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. It's unfortunate for other bands and stuff that had busy years planned, but we were fortunate enough. We were just going to do a few shows at the start of the year, record and then release the album this year. So everything's kind of going to plan for us at the moment.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's pretty decent.
No, that's pretty much a decent idea to do this year. Like, just do a couple of shows and then just see how it goes. But what I have been seeing recently is promotion organizers are actually posting shows the end of this year, which I'm a little bit against to it because we're still under the circumstances of we're not safe. And I did a video post, I did a video post a couple of days ago, and I'm a little bit disappointed how, yes, I understand it's a good thing for people to see like tour posters or anything for announcement of show dates. I'm completely fine with it, but it's more of a judgment call of thinking, is it going to be worth the risk of making shows happen this year, or is it a possibility of doing next year? Because I think, in my opinion, next year would have been the best time, because we're still not too sure what's going to happen with everything that's happened to us so far in this country or any other country.
Yeah.
With the COVID turning around. And we have, I think if I've seen any more, I don't think I have, but I've seen 2 show promotions happening of tour shows from the UK and Europe happening. One in October to November and November to December time. And like, there are some band names that I fucking like listening to, and I'm not going to slate the bands because that's got nothing to do with them really. It's more of promoters and label companies that are actually pushing it through. Now, I don't know why personally it's worth the risk of putting shows on when we are just still not in the clear zone. You know, we're not.
Yeah.
I
mean, I get it to a certain extent. I kind of understand to a certain extent, because some of these bands, I mean, this is their livelihood. So this is like people's jobs. Booking agents and venue owners are going to want to try and get money generating again.
Absolutely, yeah.
I totally understand. I totally agree with you. Sorry, I don't know if it's the best move, because I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone knows at this point what is actually going to happen in the next. Saying that, we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow with this, never mind the end of the year. I just think people should be trying to be a bit more cautious and try and take it like one day at a time. I understand the frustration. I understand the need for finances. But if something ends up happening before that and everywhere goes into lockdown again, it's just going to be bands losing more money, venues losing more money, promoters losing money. And I think the music scene that way is going to be worse off than what it is at the moment.
Yeah, the music industry is already suffering as it is. Like, I covered this podcast about the music industry, not just the underground scenery, but like just music industry and variety of band genres or anything like that has an infection on the bands and the promoters and the organizers. How we're used to having show events happening like daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, you know, and it keeps these things going. Obviously not with the help of the government, because they don't give a shit about the music industry. They care about putting their money towards other stuff. But the point is, so far I've heard reports about Bournemouth has been, or any other beaches has been cluster striking with the whole weather scenario.
Yeah.
The weather's going to be the turnout on the people, and I prove myself fucking right. The weather is going to bring people more out often. The restrictions have been lowered because we're getting out of the woods too quickly. I think, honestly, I get it, it's the economic reasons, but nobody in that government role or anything like that, the big suits and the ties, they don't care about themselves, they care about the economics and making money much as possible.
Definitely. They just want to boost that economy again. But me personally, I don't care for politics. I don't care for the government. That's just my opinion. When this all kind of happened, I've seen like people making like online petitions, like, oh, help the music industry, like, so the government can like look at the petition and try and help the music industry. But when this all happened, I knew for a fact that the music business was going to be like the last thing that the government were going to care about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once that kind of get clarified, the fact that they've done nothing for the music scene, that's when I just like stopped caring about everything that the government were speaking about. I was like, it's not going to be what I want to hear them talking about, so I'm not going to bother.
No,
like
it's not even
tuning
just
in.
that, you know, it's the fact that also, excuse me, it's also the fact that people are going out to the beaches, to the parks, to the rivers banks or anything like that during like this whole COVID situation where people are ignoring most of the people. I would say they are following the procedures. Like I've been sticking to it as much as possible. Like I'm wearing face masks to the public transport because we have to now, and that's the rule.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you know, I try my best to get in and out of the shops quickly as possible. So I kind of do stick to the protocols, but I want to get out as soon as possible because that's still a potential risk for other people. Like I do get exposed anyway from where I'm working. So for me to actually go to other places, it's like I don't want to risk my health even further by staying there for much longer as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
But to see people going out and jeopardizing every other people's effort, it boils my blood so hugely because
definitely.
you know, for the past 4 months, everybody's tried their best. You have done your best. I've done my best. Like we've done our best to make sure people stick to the procedure as much as possible. But it clinches for that one whole fucking weekend. Nearly about 500,000 people went to the fucking beach, and just
was it that many? I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was that many people. I know there was a lot, but
it's fucking. It's a piss take, man. It really, really makes me angry. And what's going to happen is, I'm going to predict this right fucking now. The death case is going to go fucking high. The death rates are going to go fucking high again. Stuff are going to climb down. If stuff's going to keep rolling again. At the moment, the weather is not fucking fantastic, which is great because people are staying inside.
yeah.
So I say to my co-workers every time, if it pisses down rain, this is fucking great for us because A, we don't have to work our asses off even further. B, people won't go out much more because the weather will change their mood. And C, mentally, they're going to be wanting to stay inside much as possible because, as I said, the weather really does affect them. And if it went sunny, people just go out so much longer than what they're used to do, where it was supposed to be one exercise per day. Now there's no exercise capacity. They're allowed to go out much as possible, but they're not going to exercise.
I know.
They're actually going out and just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You know. So
I honestly think it's so crazy. I think Scotland's now on the 4th day without any coronavirus-related deaths, which is pretty decent.
That's really good.
Scotland's actually been getting excellent weather recently as well, and no one's fucking allowed out. Like, it's quite depressing, to be honest, because I like to get out hiking and stuff. I like to go up the Highlands and
absolutely,
go hiking, but I can't fucking get out and do that. And then I see stuff on the news of like all these English folk going to the beach. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me on? I can't get out for a 4-hour hike, but people can sit at the beach all fucking day.
Yeah. And there's people I know that would say, oh, we need to go to the pub when everything is open. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? I know it's opening. I know it's opening at the end of this week or next week. I can't remember which one it was. People are relying just go out to the pub and actually enjoy themselves more than other people's health. And it just...
I know, it's so selfish.
And some of the people that are selfish, is some of them are promoters as well. Promoters that does shows as well. And, you know, it really frustrates me. So why I'm tying all this up together with the latest of the music industry and bands are going to be risking even further is because if everything does happen with the death rates and everything going high again, shows are going to be reposted and going to be cancelled once again. And this is going to be a huge, huge issue that unless everything gets back to level 1, ground zero, no cases whatsoever,
Yeah.
cannot risk any further. We can't just keep doing this any further, you know.
No, it's gonna fuck this music scene up so much, and on top of that as well, I mean, bands like bands like ours, and like even other like big bands as well. Like a lot of the festivals have just moved the same lineup to next year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be another year before other bands can get a shot at playing these festivals.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a backlog of bands being able to play shows. And if these tours that are getting announced at the moment get cancelled or rescheduled, then it's just going to be like completely cluttered with all these bands trying to fulfill postponed tours. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite difficult for like all these bands to try and get out and tour, because everyone will be wanting to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have enough money to get tickets for all these shows.
No, it's going to be a huge struggle, because I cover on the podcast, as you said, you have watched a couple, which I really appreciate, by the way.
Not a problem, not a problem.
How it will infect the other people and the business as well, because if, let's say, the capacity of a venue is about 150 or 200 people, that's we have to cut down decreasedly so big that it's not going to cover the business of the venue to get their profit. The promotion's not going to make a profit of making shows, and the bands are not going to get good income. So that's going to be a huge, huge issue if this whole thing still continues. And it's a bummer, because we have seen some good lineups coming through this year, and it all has to be postponed and cancelled. Like,
I know. It's actually been a really good year for announcements. And then obviously all that shit happened, so all those announcements are now gone.
Yeah, it's really upsetting, you know. And like you, as you mentioned, you were supposed to do a UK Death Fest in London, where it was, I think it was a couple of days or a day so before my birthday as well, and I was like, that's fucking bummer.
that sucks. I mean, thankfully the entire lineup that was announced is playing next year though. So I don't think any bands have been changed, and I think they're adding more bands. So there's always your birthday next year. You can go out and do some stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was actually, I knew it was going to happen, the UK Death Fest thing. I was actually pretty gutted about it, because when that lineup got announced and we were on the same bill as Autopsy, I was like, holy shit! Like Autopsy, the band for a long time, and to see our name on the same flyer as Autopsy, I was like, this is going to be fucking awesome. Then obviously I got the email saying that it's been postponed. It was understandable, obviously, but just means waiting another year to get to play that awesome festival.
Well, fingers crossed that you're going to be playing with Autopsy in the same day in the next year, because you know you guys need something like that to happen again.
Yeah, I can't even remember what they were playing, but just getting the chance to see Autopsy again is going to be awesome. I mean, I never thought I'd get to see them at all, and now this will be like the third time getting to see them. So
yeah. Well, let's just hope it does happen, you know, because...
I hope so. Like, I just hope it fucks off pretty soon, this coronavirus, because it's really taking its toll on a lot of people. It's starting to really piss people off. And then, like you said, people are just starting to now disobey the rules. And it's going to end up much, much worse than it ever has been, I think.
It's going to be, because people just don't take the responsibility. Like, people just don't care. They're just irresponsible faggot pricks, you know. So it's just really, really tormenting, man. Like, I've got people that will just go out and just do what they want, and I'm not going to name and shame them, because if they watch this and they see me as a prick, that's completely fine, because I'm not the one actually going out and just ruining everybody else's other people.
No, definitely not. I mean, the thing that really boils my piss is when people who are furloughed and they're getting 80% of their wages for sitting about, they can get out during the day for like a bit of exercise and stuff, and like, I'm so bored of sitting inside all the time. And I'm like, how do you think I feel? You're getting 80% of your wage to sit in your house I'm getting the same wage to go out and do my fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, I need to go out and risk my own health every day, and I get you're in the exact same boat as me. You're out there, you're working still, and you're getting the exact same wage, but you get all these people who want to complain about getting 80% of their wage for nothing.
It's really confusing why people just need to complain about it, because then they don't have to do anything. They just have to stay at home, watch TV. They can just fucking eat every day. They in their own beds or whatever. Like
exactly, they can do what they want, and they're getting paid for it. That sounds like bliss to me. That sounds like the life.
Yeah, that would have been like a holiday for me. That would have been something I want to fucking do. But
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand being stuck indoors and not being able to get out and see your friends.
Absolutely, yeah, I get that.
But people like us, we're still out working, and we still don't get to see our friends or family.
No.
Might be a bit better.
I do see some of my family from time to time, because like Father's Day, I had to see my grandfather, and he was like, I'm going to be on my own for Father's Day. Well, he had his wife, but basically he was thinking there's going to be no family gatherings and everything, so we had to making it up for him. But this is still going to happen for a couple of months, and I can't really say much on the camera because my mum might watch the podcast, but there was supposed to be something happening for my mum on her birthday, and that's likely not going to happen, because this still is going to happen. They're still going to carry on, But I think she can understand that she's trying her best to get back to work as much as possible. So, there's people that do want to go back to work, and they do want to have a social life, instead
definitely. It's just,
it's
just really not going to happen now, to be honest. I mean, until things start to show signs of like easing up, then it's just going to be this way for a while. I mean, obviously everyone really wants this to be over. People want to get back to normal, but I think even like if and when this coronavirus disappears, I think things aren't going to go back to normal. I don't think. No. I think they're going to still have some sort of measures in place, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. I still think they're going to be pretty cautious when it comes down to it all.
It makes you wonder though, because let's just say people were still being hygienic. They were still going out and doing what they were supposed to do in the first place while the whole thing was happening. Let's just say this virus didn't happen and people were still doing absolutely nothing. Would people actually be considerate and actually do it? Or do you think people would be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to do what I want to do, and that's it. Because
that's what I think.
People
I think that as well, because people don't give a shit. That's the biggest problem with this. You've hit the nail on the head there, Joshua. People don't give a shit. That's the problem.
It's really fucking annoying, and I know for a fact if I went to the nearest Wetherspoons, people would just obviously be pissing through the fucking urine, and they just don't wash their hands. They don't do shit like that. But if they went to the nearest fucking spoons, they would have to. Otherwise, they'll get in the shit. So this is the problem. And I wonder, like you just said, if things go back to normal, there will have to be some measurements and procedures where they have to try their best to make sure they stay hygienic as much as possible to make sure this does not happen again. But whether they will do it or not, when everything's back to normal, is all questions that we don't have the answers for until it happens. But
I mean, the pubs are meant to be opening. Obviously, they're not going to be able to serve you pints in like actual like glasses. It'll need to be like plastic cups or something.
I saw some that was done by plastic milk bottles. And
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. People, like 2 liters of beer in a pint.
That's what I've been told. So with that being said, that's likely the prices are going to go high, and apparently the pubs, as you said, they're not likely going to allow public to go in. They're going to be beer gardens so people can go out, but that's still going to be a problem where people are going to go out all the time in the beer gardens.
And it will be limited as well.
Yeah, exactly. The capacity is going to be so fucking tight as well, so there's going to be no space for other people. So it's all questionable of thinking, how is it going to work? We don't know. And do I actually want to go to the nearest spoon? Fuck no, because I don't,
No.
and it's just going to ruin my fucking health. Are people going to go there? They will, because they got nothing else to do. They got nothing else to do in their social life. They just want to go out
No.
and piss now,
Well, I wouldn't be going to the pub anyway. Like the pub down the road from me, that's been open for ages now. But it's just been like, order a pint and they'll give you it out. But when the pubs open up again, I've got no interest in going. Like, one, it's your health. I don't drink anymore.
Cool.
So there's like zero reason for me to go to the pub now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I went to the pub, the only thing I'd be doing is risking my health. So.
And just spending a lot of money that you may not have again, because I said to someone today, actually, it's a blessing in disguise, because I'm actually saving more money than going out. And it's funny for me to say that, because like we just mentioned, how I've got the money for the house seat now, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's only because I haven't been going out, and I would be normally going to gigs, be spending my money on stuff. But because all this has happened, people obviously probably got more money in their pockets. So surely that must be a huge benefit for people to not go out. Surely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people should be looking at their bank balance like after months and months of not going out and being like, yeah, it was totally worth it.
Mm.
But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I like to spend my money. I'm constantly spending money on shit I don't need as well. It's like cabin fever sets in, and I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to go onto websites and I'm just going to look at random shit that I don't need and buy it.
Love it. So obviously we've just gone to the politics side for almost 45 minutes. So let's actually go to the music side, because this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. I was going to say, we've been talking about coronavirus politics for ages now.
Hey, sometimes we need to cover on it, because
definitely. I mean, it's good to know that the person you're talking to is kind of on the same page. I mean, you could have been one of these people. Oh, I like getting out to the beach and stuff like that. I've been out all the time, but we're not. So it's like, we know we're on the same page with each other. We're still working, not been able to get out, see family and friends much.
Yeah.
Pissed off with people breaking the rules. So totally on the same page.
Definitely. So let's get touching a little bit of Scordatura, because as you mentioned, it's been many, many years since Scordatura actually been mentioned as a band from Scotland.
They've been going a while now.
Who actually made the name, and who actually made the band happen before it actually started as a band?
I wasn't in the band to start with. It was Owen, Tam, and our old guitarist Dave. They kind of came together, and like I might balls this up a bit, sure, but I'm gonna tell you what I think happened, and hopefully that's what happened. So those three, I think they went to school together. Owen and Tam have known each other forever, and then they ended up going to this community centre together, like some sort of music club, and then they started. They just started jamming together, and then I believe that Owen seen the name Scordatura, and it might have been Total Guitar magazine or something, and he was like, "That's quite a cool name. Let's use that for the name of the band." And I believe that's how the band kind of came about. Then I found them on MySpace a few years later.
The old days.
I know, the MySpace days. And then I found them or they added me, or I added them on MySpace. Can't remember. Seen they were looking for a vocalist, and the stuff that they were covering at the time, they were like covering Death and like Metallica, a bit of Slayer, a bit of Arch Enemy, and I was like, do you know something? This might be pretty good. So I messaged them or emailed them, and then pretty much straight away they get back to me saying, "Oh, when can you like try out for us?"
That's cool.
And then when I tried out for them, they started covering like some Black Dahlia Murder songs, and I was like really, really into them at the time. I'm still really into them now, but back then it was like they were like one of my favourite bands.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is excellent. So just started trying out, practicing with them. Then they eventually asked me to be their vocalist. And that was 13 years ago, I think. 13 years ago now.
Yeah. 13 years ago. Where's time fly, you know? Like,
I know. It's crazy thinking I was in like high school when I started that band, and now, like, looking what we've done over the years, I'm like, fuck. Like, it's still seems crazy to me. We've like toured over in the States, played Vegas Death Fest,
yeah, you did,
played
yeah.
all over Europe and stuff. It's still mind blowing to me, and I'm never ever going to take it for granted.
Yeah, things are crazy, man. Like, obviously, we touched on a little bit that you guys did some EPs, and then you had the first album, Tournament of the Week, came out, which then I got recognized as one of your fans by then because I was so hooked on Tournament of the Week. And then you did your second album. I was even more hooked on it, especially when you had Danny.
Appreciate it, man. Very much appreciate
it. Danny Nelson on there from Megan Nancy.
Oh, when we got Danny Nelson on that album, I was absolutely over the moon. He's been one of my favourite extreme metal vocalists ever since I heard Malignancy. Actually, I was like, fuck. I was like, this guy's got some like crushing vocals. And then we'd done a couple of shows with Malignancy when they toured the UK back in 2014 or 2015.
2014, and with Sammy's band,
Regurgitate Life, yeah, that's right, and Unfathomable Ruination.
I was fucking jealous because when none of them was included London, and I was like, how? Well, apart from the Installation Fest, but I thought that's fucking abomination, you know.
I know there's no like
so fucking.
For them.
The tour like that was so fucking decent, and
it was a good lineup.
I was so disappointed as well, and fucking hell, man. But
I became pretty good friends with Danny over those couple of shows. Like, so we became like mates through that, and then we started chatting. And eventually, I was like, "Fuck, guys, do you want to do some guest vocals on our new album?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm totally up for that. Like, tell me what it is you need." And then it was as easy as that, and I was absolutely over the moon with. I was like, I can't fucking believe I'm getting Danny Nelson doing some guest vocals on our album. This is amazing.
So let's just say you have the opportunity, whether it's past or present, to have another guest musician to be on there, whether it's guitarist, bass, drums, vocals, whatever, for the new album or upcoming album. Who would you want on there and why?
I mean, it's actually quite interesting because we didn't go with any guest vocals or guest musicians on this album. I had a couple of ideas when we were writing, and I guess I done nothing with it. I was like, fuck it, we'll just do it us. But if I could have any guest vocalist, for me, it would either need to be Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, obviously.
Fucking cool.
Or, or Corpse Grinder and Travis Ryan from Cattle, obviously. And the reason why is I've looked up to those guys' vocal styles. For years, hearing Corpse Grinder's like vocal performance live and stuff, and listening on record, I was like, that was the thing that made me want to become a vocalist. And then when I started getting into Cattle Decapitation, I heard all these insane noises that Travis done. I was like,
yeah.
They're like two of my favourite vocalists, so to get either one of them or both of them on an album, that would, I don't know, I think it would make my head explode, to be honest.
You'd be thinking, how the fuck are you going to top it up compared to what they obviously going to top it up and reach up to the expectations, you know?
I know, but it's like trying to get like vocalists of that level to notice smaller bands, I suppose, because there's so many smaller bands now, so many underground bands, and I find it really hard to keep up. I can't imagine what it's like for guys who have been in the scene for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are all these bands? It's like,
Trevor from the Black Diary Mother does his own little session of like whether it's podcast or I don't think it's a podcast, but basically an article of his what's it called?
the obituarist.
Yeah, that's it.
Metal injection, yeah.
You know, it's really interesting that he has that big interest of music bands that he would be hooked up on. And my guess is he's got a huge influence on listening to those bands and be like, you know what, I fucking like this band. And I wonder if he ever does stuff like that for like bands that we listen to, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's UK scenery or the US scenery and that, which I'm sure he has, but I'm sure he hasn't with bands like you guys or anything, but he probably has. But my point is,
well,
something like that would be cool as well.
Interesting fact about Trevor, he actually asked for us specifically to open for their show in Glasgow when they toured with Benighted.
Oh,
and it turns out he's quite a big Scordatura fan, which again blows my fucking mind. I couldn't believe it. It's like, what? I've got pictures with me and Trevor when I was like 14 years old or something. Yeah. It's insane. And he also done a write-up for our second album, Self-Created Abyss. So generally, I think Trevor's a fan of us, and over the years of finding out that, I've became like pretty good friends with him as well. Such a sweetheart, and I think he's the kind of driving force behind the underground scene at the moment.
Yeah. And then there's me, you know, I'm behind Trevor, but I got a lot of work to do, you know, for sure. But,
hey, this takes time, man. You can't rush progress. I mean,
no. Of course, it does take time. It does take time, and he's obviously put a lot of time into making this happen. And fair play to Trevor, you know.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's great.
Not just a musician, but like he's a big influence for like the music community. And something like that, it's all about hard work and dedication, you know.
Yeah. I think the thing that sticks out with Trevor the most as well is he's generally a fan of music. He's generally a fan of this genre. I mean, you get a lot of people who play in bands and stuff who aren't really into the metal scene.
Yeah.
Which, again, it baffles me, but I understand. I had a real conflict going on with like the metal scene a couple of years ago. I was like, there's just nothing new there for me that's keeping me interested. I still loved playing the music I played because it was fun, but trying to find new bands that I was actually interested in, I was like, everything's starting to sound the same. Yeah. That's how and why I constantly just listen to the same stuff I've been listening to, because I love it. That's what I like, and that's why I'm trying to find like different weird styles of music and stuff. I'm massive into my black metal. I always have been, but there's so many amazing black metal bands now coming out of the scene that's just putting a lot of death metal to shame now. I know it's two different genres, but if black metal can think out the box, why can't death metal? And now, fast forward a couple of years to now, there's so many cool death metal bands coming out, so many cool death metal releases. So starting to find that love again for death metal is pretty cool.
Now, you've got to have that common interest of a little variety of music. You know, you've got to try and have that exploitation, and you have to be open much as possible to make sure people are going to stay in contact with your music. And that's always going to be the main key factor, especially if people like in the old days that have been hooked to your music for many, many years, they want something different. And sometimes it's really difficult to keep them interested and keep them really occupied as much as possible.
Definitely. It's also understandable as well. I mean, a lot of death metal bands are really starting to sound the same, so you can see where people start to lose interest. It's like, do you know something actually? When I was really falling out of love with death metal, I actually came across Vitriol and listened to some Vitriol, and I was like, fuck. I was like, this is what I need my death metal to sound like. I need it to sound fast. I need it angry. And I just think a lot of new death metal bands forget that's basically what the genre is. Fast and angry music, you know what I mean?
It's
I think
hard.
a lot of people, a lot of musicians, are, especially in the brutal death metal scene, are starting to lean more towards the slam side. Now, I've got this love-hate relationship with slam as well. There's a few slam bands that I really fucking love, but I don't even care. I'm going to come out and say it. I think a lot of slam shit, to be honest. I think a lot of it sounds the exact same.
Yep.
And I think that really, I think that's what's holding some of the death metal scene back, because the slam fans are checking out death metal bands and like, oh, this isn't like death metal. And you're like, no, this is what death metal is supposed to sound like. But I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I don't care. I don't care. It's my opinion.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard, as we just mentioned, how if the slam fans are trying to, let's just say, be a bit more exploit with music interest, they're going to be wanting to listen to something like death metal or whatever, and if they don't say it is the same or it is different, then you're losing the respect of that music as well, because
definitely.
Slam is almost like death metal as well, just slower, just heavier, and that's what it is. With death metal, as you said, it's supposed to be aggressive, it's supposed to be fast or a bit more technical, it's supposed to be angry music. And I want something that's going to be like, I want people to be fucking disgusted by. Like, people be thinking, what is this music? It's fucking ridiculous. Why would someone
That's the reaction it needs. That's the reaction it needs, because I see a lot of people, and I listen to a lot of stuff. Like, again, I'm going to go back to slam, for example. You listen to new slam bands, and then you're like, this is fucking ridiculous. But it's not the same kind of ridiculous you're looking for. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's like the vocals, like death metal vocals, don't sound like that anymore. It's like they're just trying to make strange noises. They're trying to just do pig squeals. I mean, for me, I thought that stuff died out years ago, and then all of a sudden it came back with full force, and now it's absolutely dominating the scene. I will never, however, badger or make fun of a band for doing well. That's one thing I will say. Fair play to all these slam bands that are doing so well and they make it work. That's
absolutely.
It's amazing, to be honest. That I think that's crazy, but that is what it is. I mean, people are going to listen to what they listen to, I take it, or I guess so even.
Yeah, of course. And like, I would never slate any band to go for a different music direction. Like, if the slam bands want something, like they're going to add something different, I'm completely fine with it. I'm not going to say, oh, you need to stick to this all the time because, you're this and you're that, whatever. But it's not me. And I know there are people out there that will say, oh, this band is not slam. This band is fucking piece of shit. This band is just...
I know.
Honestly, I've had this chat with an individual, and it's just absolutely tarnish the fact there are people out there in their 30s or whatever, threatening people to say, if you don't fucking say something different about the music opinion, then you've got to be getting your ass kicked. And I'm like, come on, man. People need to be...
I know. I think people just like typing stuff on their keyboards. But if it came to it face-to-face with said people, I could almost 100% of the time, no one's going to get their ass kicked. It'll just be people.
Well, if they're affecting people, then it's just a different story, because some people are saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do this to you at the next show. Well, good thing I don't go to your show, because it's absolutely fucking shit anyway. I know who we speak about, and it's fucking funny how he said it about it. I fucking love that guy. But, and it's kind of true, because sometimes some people that you think there are the main music genre of slam, they can be absolute cunts, and they can be absolute fucking shit.
Definitely.
Afterwards. And it's absolute disappointment how we're in the 2020 and people still slate other bands or just basically, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be that. And it's just, you've got to let people to do what they want to do. It doesn't
I totally agree. The thing that really gets me though is see when people want to criticise bands who don't even play in bands. I'm like, hold on a fucking minute, mate. You start your own fucking band and then you can criticise other folk.
Exactly.
That's what really gets me. It's when people who don't fucking know anything about any instruments, the first thing about being in a band, and then they want to slate other bands. I'm like, do you know what? Good for you. Fucking slate the band all you want, but they're playing shows in different countries.
Yeah.
They're playing shows all over the world whilst you're sitting behind your fucking keyboard, wanking off to fucking taking the piss out of other bands.
I think you've probably seen my Instagram story then, because one of the bands, I'm not going to mention the bands, but let's just say this whole Slam King thing, right? It's fucking, you could say your band is the next Slam King band, right? And it's just like, we're still going to be fucking taking the piss out of it, right? Sometimes people can handle the banter, sometimes people can laugh about it, and it's completely what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be funny, not something serious. And for someone to say, oh, we're the Slam King band, you can go fuck yourself, you know, and it's just...
I know. It's like, I think a lot of people need to get over themselves and they need to learn how to take a joke, because if you can't take a joke, I mean, what's the point?
Especially if you're threatening somebody to say, I'm going to see you in the next show. Don't fucking do that, because at the end of the day, they could be your best friend in the next day or two, and you're just going to threaten somebody just because they have their own joke opinion or something, you know?
So, I know. The way I see it is, the metal community and the metal scene is small enough as it is. See if everyone spent less time hating on each other and more time helping each other out, I think you'll find this scene does so much better for itself.
I do agree. I do. And this podcast is supposed to be about helping the male community by any means during this crisis moment. And to see people, not just band perspective, but fans perspective. You know, they can just criticize people and just say this band is shit or whatever. That's completely fine. That's their opinion. I'm not slating that whatsoever. But the worst thing is actually happening right now, and it's going to go towards the deathcore and the metalcore genre. How there's been some latest accusations going around on social media, specific musicians. I think
I've seen a couple of things going about at the moment.
Let's just say, I'm not going to name the names because I don't want to do that. I'm not that type of person. But let's just say there are some names I'm a little bit disgusted by, and it's spit in the face on the music, and it's spit in the face on the metal genre as well. It shouldn't be like that. And for some people that are actually doing it, it's absolutely vile. And I know there was one band musician that was in the UK. I can't remember if it was from Manchester or whatever. And that band had to fucking finish because that musician ruined the whole of what the band is about. And it's absolutely sad how there are some people still out there are actually becoming a bit more vile and actually showing their true colours.
That's what seems to be happening in this lockdown. Like,
I don't know why. I don't know if it's because people have got more opportunity to, you know, search the media and search the social media and everything and think, oh yeah, you know what, we are going to do this. And I'm not saying women shouldn't speak up. I think women should deserve the opportunity to speak up. Same as guys, if the guys are harassed by women, they should be allowed to speak up by any means. Like, there should be an opportunity for everybody to speak up during this whole crisis and whatever afterwards. But for people to say, this musician's done this, this musician's done that, they're friends together, they're doing this, doing that, whatever, it's an absolute insult for the fans that actually idolize them as like the next musician interest. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've had a huge interest in Pacific drummer, and I'm saying it's an absolute spit in the face because I like his music style and I actually wanted to learn that instrument, you know?
Yeah.
To actually see someone do that behind the scenes, it tarnishes it. It tarnishes their reputation and it tarnishes the music scenery as well.
Yeah. And it's not even that as well. It's like if that's someone you look up to or whatever, and then you find out something fucking horrible about them, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, man! Like I've been looking up to this person for however long.
Mm.
It just totally fucks it up for you as well. It's like it's put such a downer. I mean, I don't know if you remember all the shit that happened with can't even speak now. Inquisition.
Yeah.
So
that was a whole
I
other level, you know. That was
I fucking love Inquisition. I think their music is incredible.
absolutely.
And then when all that shit came out, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man! Like, why can't people just be musicians and not fucking complete fiends?
It's absolutely sad that we have to still live in a life like this. And, you know, I'm sure there's more to it with the rap genre, the jazz genre, or whatever. But it seems to be the metal community at the moment. And I said this on my Instagram, which you probably have not seen. I will fucking befriend anybody that does shit like this. If I know anybody mutually that we know mutually or anything about what some means, if anybody's done shit like this, they're not my friends. I wish them fucking drop dead, whatever, because that tarnishes.
Definitely. I don't think I have seen that Instagram story because I actually deleted my Instagram a long time ago now, maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago or something.
Well, if I still got I probably still got the video or something, so I'll just show it to you, and you know.
Yeah, I'll check it out if you send me it over. I'll definitely check it out.
The point is, it's just absolutely disgusting, and I don't know why, as we just both mentioned, I don't know why people are still doing it, and we should be at the point where we shouldn't have anything like this happening during the metal genre or the metal community at all. Because we all should be together. We all should be a family. We all should be looking out for each other. We all should be supporting each other, like you just said. And
unfortunately, but people don't see it that way either. People don't see it as a family. They don't see it as a community, which is a shame. Which is a shame because I think, like I said, if everyone kind of pulled together and helped each other out, I think the music scene would be much more successful, especially in metal. I mean, could you imagine if everyone, I mean, we know a lot of people who do so well in bands. Imagine everyone just tied together and helped each other out. Imagine the tours all these underground bands would be doing and all these cool shows and festivals all these like smaller bands would get the chance to do. But it seems to be, even now, like with this coronavirus thing going on, I've seen like a lot of people banding together and helping each other out.
Absolutely, yeah.
But on the flip side, you've got people who will not point blank refuse to help other bands out. And especially at times like this is the time that we should be banding together and help each other out. But a lot of people just aren't willing to do it, which is an absolute shame.
It's really unfortunate, and I think when everything gets back to normal, or whatever is normal nowadays.
Yeah, whatever normal is.
I think it's going to be a question of who's going to be trustworthy, who's going to be friends with who, and how are we going to be able to take that person with granted as interest to say.
Definitely, I mean,
not just as
I think it's going to be weird
as a good friend as well.
I think it's going to be weird at first trying to get things back to normal because it is going to be like that. People don't know who they're going to be able to trust, who's still friends with who. I think it's just got to be quite difficult because it is really strange times now.
It is.
But I guess we just need to take it one day at a time.
Yeah, no, I do agree. We do need to take things slowly and day by day, but I
Yeah,
think it's still going to be a question of, like just mentioned, how we're going to trust this person with my life as a friend or as a musician, where it's not going to tarnish my reputation as as the band goes on. You know,
yeah,
there's so many possibilities of what can happen or what will happen if somebody ruins it. You know, and like some people went to fucking prison because of that reason. You know, and
yeah. No, exactly. That's
yeah, and
so fucked up, to be honest.
people went to prison. People get exposed on social media. People would do video reaction on YouTube, you know, to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," for the next half an hour video with evidence and stuff. And you know, some people can see through that's all bullshit. Then you have previous musicians who say that's bullshit. So don't believe this person. So you have to think, hey, on a minute, this person's actually been legit. Like
Yeah,
I obviously done a share as well that said I believe this person compared to the person who did the apology video because of,
yeah,
you know, this person has been with that person on the road, shows and everything every day compared to what I do. Like I don't see
yeah,
the person at 24/7. So it goes to show sometimes you can't take it with a pinch of, sometimes you can take things with a pinch with salt, but sometimes
yeah,
you've got to be treading it with caution because let's just say you're still going to be legitimate, honest with this person, and this whole thing does happen again. What are you going to do? Are you going to look yourself stupid and carry on with the same old bullshit, or are you actually going to walk away from that person? You know?
yeah. I mean, to me, honesty is the best policy. See if someone's got like sort of ulterior motives, I suppose, when they're coming to you for help or whatever, then I'm not interested in that. I think coming up straight up front and honest with everything is it's always been the best way.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to get caught out or anything like that. Why do you need to lie or make stuff up about things? You know?
What's interesting is it took 6 months to make that apology video. Six
Yeah,
fucking months. And you could have done something within 24 hours to say, yes, I've done this. I apologize for what's happened. Now you can judge me for what I've done and you can believe that person, that's completely fine. Or
yeah,
you can wait for an extended time where I might need to recuperate and say, give me a couple of months where I can show evidence, or maybe weeks to show you evidence.
mm,
Then you can make your own judgment. But to take for someone to say it takes 6 months to make this happen, it's a bit of a question of thinking, why is it took 6 months to make this happen? Why did it just not take within like a month or two?
yeah. I know.
Fucking.
But I guess that's just the way some people's brains work. I guess.
Mm. But unfortunately, it's just unacceptable, and we have to see that person now as just a dirty piece of shit who
Yeah, definitely.
takes someone for granted, whether it was because they had mental health issues or whether it was emotional issues or whatever. Like, I've got mental health issues, right? And obviously, we've been friends for many, many fucking years, so you know that.
Yeah.
And I've been
Hmm.
friends with many people that have mental health issues. But during my hometown in Reading, UK, like a week or so ago, somebody went to fucking killing spree, killing people in the park and everything. And this person stated that he had mental health issues. I'm sorry, but if you have mental health issues, you will not go with a fucking knife and kill people. You are.
No, that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy to me. And I mean, I get like these folk might have mental health problems and stuff, but what like I don't know what possesses them to take it to such an extreme level.
It was just because probably they just had nothing else to do. Like obviously, when we mentioned beginning, the virus came into play, and now people are losing
Mm.
their shit. Like that's probably what's turned people now. And I know there are some people I know that have mental health issues, and they've been staying at home since this whole thing's happened. It drives
Yeah,
them mental, and you know I get that, and it makes them really upset how they can't go out and trust people now because it still ruined their health. Where
yeah,
you know they one person would say, I need to go grab some shopping stuff in your workplace. Is it safe to go in it? Is it busy? And I'm like, it's busy. So
It's always going to be busy. Come on, man.
Take it with caution, please, because, yes, I know you want to come here and actually do whatever you want to do, but if it's busy, you have to be ready for it. And if you don't want to come in, just get someone else to do it. Or I do it for you after work, and she had to get someone else to do it. So you can see on the mental health perspective, like, it will really, really hurt them so much and make them go crazy. So,
definitely. I mean, I've had my fair share of episodes throughout this lockdown, battling some demons like everyone does, but it's never got to the stage where I've thought, my mental health's so bad, I think I'll go massacre a few people, you know what I mean? That's like insane. Like, I mean, I'm not 100% clued up with it all, to be honest, but I don't know what runs through people's heads to possess them to do that, but I guess that's in their heads, you know what I mean?
It's unfortunate that people's lives have been taken as well, and even during this COVID situation, like, people have lost someone because the killing spree or the virus, and it's really fucking bad. And obviously, I don't know how many more people are going to pass on, but it's really upsetting that, like, now it's up to, if I remember correctly, someone said to me today, 10 million people have basically got the case of the
like worldwide, I think I've seen something like that as well.
And if you think of that, 10 million people, it's fucking mad.
That's a lot of people. That's a fucking lot of people.
And some people say it's fake. Unacceptable excuse.
The numbers are there. Like, I mean, who knows? It might be fake. I think, to be honest, there might be more people died of it and more cases than they're letting on to be. But I don't know why you would straight up turn around and say it's fake. I think 10 million is quite a realistic number considering how many people there are in the world.
The thing is as well, and before we actually have to finish, I'm going to mention this now, we had people saying they just do it to put the fear on people, to make sure they stay at home. And I
don't think that's fair.
I don't think that's fair either, but if it works, it has to work. But I definitely agree it's not fair how we had to fake this number cases to make sure this is actually extreme measure, where it's not so extreme. But the problem is, you're going to have to try and put people into the fear control to say, stay at home, don't do this.
I mean, I totally get that, but rather than lying to people about things, I think they should just be upfront and honest and tell them. It's such a serious problem at the moment. People can see that, but it's just not doing anything. People still aren't caring. It's like they see how many people are dying, they see what this causes, they see what it's doing to the world.
It's really sad.
And they still don't want to listen.
It's really sad though, because I think the 75% is definitely the virus, and 25% is different health circumstances, like heart attack,
definitely.
Strokes, whatever. I think something like that. That would be realistic more than just saying 10 million on the virus. That's just
exactly. Like, give a percentage of how many people have died from coronavirus rather than numbers.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we have to deal with that for now and just see what happens.
I know. It's just the way of life at the moment.
It is shit. It is shit how not just we have this virus case, but people are getting accusated and exploited, and that's just makes it a bit more shitty for 2020. Not just like that, but also shit for all of us to trust people, to even be safe to go out. but we're just doing whatever we can, you and I and other people. We're just
As long as we're staying safe, other people can do what they want.
yeah, absolutely. And I don't care if people actually go out and get fucking pissed and next week, whatever. As long as I stay inside.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to concern you at all. People can do what they want.
No, exactly. But again, I'm getting exposed with work, so it's bad enough.
Yeah, I'm the same as well. I'm the exact same.
But we have
Just
to deal with it.
how it is.
Anyway, we've got one more thing to do, which we can do that before I have to disappear for another session.
Yeah, we've been on this for quite a while now, actually.
Basically, what I do by the end of the podcast, we have an opportunity to do shout out opportunities for bands that need recognition and deserve opportunity to get mentioned. Label companies, distributions, promoters for doing shows, like anything that comes into your mind to say they need something because they put their ass into the work, or
I'll give a few shout outs, I suppose, off the top of my head. Let's give a shout out to the Boys and Visions of Disfigurement. Their new album just dropped and it's fucking awesome. It's another Scottish band. Let's give a shout out to the Boys in Aphotic. Fantastic band. They've got some cool stuff in the works, so hopefully people will check that out when they release something. Trying to think other bands to give a shout out to. Apostate, we should give a shout out to those guys. Brutal death metal from Preston area. They're like a bit like Deeds of Flesh. They're fucking awesome. If you've not checked them out, Joshua, you should, man. I'll send you some links to those guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, sure.
And now I'm completely put in the spot. I can't think of anything else to give a shout out to.
What I can mention to you is, if you've got any more in your mind, just give me a message, because I will put links on the people's descriptions and then people can click through, just do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Well, actually, seeing as we're on here, I'll give a shout out to you as well, the Joshua Files. I think it's amazing what you're doing. You're bringing like loads of different musicians together on these podcasts, and you're taking your time. I mean, this is like what, nearly 2 hours we've been on this or something. Yeah, it's like 2 hours of your time that you're giving up.
No.
So I think it's a great thing that you're doing, and I think you should keep up the good work with us.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate people's feedback, and to make things a bit better, because I want to make sure people's time and effort is worth it, and I want to make sure people are entertained when they listen to this podcast or whatever. Like, that's the main goal for me. Like, if it wasn't for those two key things, I'll be thinking to myself, there's no point, because...
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're enjoying yourself as well, you've got to obviously have some sort of enjoyment out of doing this, otherwise it's just not going to be worth it. But clearly you've got such a massive interest in this. So I wish you all the best with this, Joshua. I really do. I think it's a fantastic thing.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. And
not a problem.
Yeah, as we said before we recorded it, I am going to do like get-together sessions where we speak to musicians. Well, I speak to musicians, whether it's just one person or multiple people.
Yeah.
We have the right equipment. We can do audio file only. We can just sit down, have a few drinks or whatever for a couple of hours, discuss crazy things. That's something like that I want to do. Like, better than just do like an hour or an hour and a half. Do not really get covered with so much interest with things that we haven't discussed, where we wish should have done that. So stuff like that, it will come in time perhaps, and I'll probably be a bit more hooked up with people to say.
Well, once all this is out of the way and we can get out playing shows again, next time we're in London, I'll definitely hit you up and we can do something like that. I'm totally up for that.
For sure. Even if it's just not London, I want to get people to get music again in Reading, and that's one of them, because that's my hometown, and the metal community in Reading is so fucking shit, but it needs to get that pick up again, and it needs that opportunity for people to start doing shows again. It's tough. It's really, really tough, but I think it can happen if people put the effort into it again, and people don't slate the town centre again. And that's what happened the last time, and it is unfortunate. But I got a friend
Yeah.
who is a promoter. I'm sure they would love to do it again, you know, and for
Yeah.
bands like you guys or any other bands that would love to do shows again, like in town centres or whatever, fucking easy, you know. But yeah, definitely. London's obviously the main place for me to go, but I'm going to try
Yeah.
a couple different
Yeah.
places like Southampton or something, perhaps, to do something like that in the future. But
Yeah.
it's all in a wait and see game, and we still got like time to make sure it all happens. But
Yeah, definitely. We've got plenty of time.
yeah, for sure. But for my shout outs, I only got a couple of shout outs before I actually had to dash before I got a couple of minutes. I'd like to do a shout out for Ingested because they got a new album coming out soon. They just released a new song called Have a Measure or something, and it's fucking decent.
And no half measures. Excellent song, by the way.
It's a really good song. I really like it. I know they said the best one is on the last track of the album, so I'm like, I'm waiting for the new album. It's coming out next month. Still.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The last couple of things Ingested have released have been pretty fucking
decent,
good.
man. It's been really, really decent, and I made the story on Instagram, and it's still on my music tab. And I said to them, I've been a fan of them for many, many fucking years, and their music, it's been absolute big. They got to where they want to be, and it's absolutely amazing to see what they've done.
They're doing really, really well for themselves, and they definitely deserve it. They totally deserve it.
They should be, by any means. And hopefully, I do see them again, even during this crisis. Like, if everything goes in December and I am going to be able to see them, then I want to make sure I go to a show that's not going to be taking so much.
Yeah, I think they're doing a Glasgow show meant to be as well, so I'll be at that show for sure.
That'd be cool. So apart from Ingested, shout out to Scordatura. You know, you guys have done so much. You know,
thanks so much, man. I appreciate the support.
I'd be so quick to hear that new album when it comes out. Like I've been, obviously, as I said, been fans of your music for many, many years. And
yeah, you have been. You've actually continued the support throughout the years, which is amazing. Again, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, more happy to help. Other than that, our Flammable Nation, they do fucking good music in London. They're really, really good boys.
Good lads as well. Very good lads.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to hear that, you know, they're doing really well from what I've been told.
They look like they're doing pretty well at the moment, so that's cool.
True Mold, Gatekeeper, Blood Incarnation, Spectacle Boyce, you know, all that stuff that we listen to and we fucking like.
Excellent band.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking chill and it's really good music. But yeah, I don't have much else to say other than just basically for anyone that's really, really listening to music during this crisis time, just keep doing what you want to do and just make sure you stick together with people that you are friends with. It's going to be really difficult at the moment with people wanting to go out, and let's say the restrictions are going to go very, very high again. I think it needs to happen, and I think it's got to happen before anything else does take fucking far from worse. You know, and I think it's safe to say that we all want things back to normal. We definitely want to. You know, we all want to make sure we go see our friends again, our families again, and, you know, just to make sure we have good fun again and actually see our pals that are not just musicians, but just good local friends and that. But unfortunately, there's good people out there just going to say, why the fuck do I give a shit? You know, that type of thing. I'm not that type of person, and I know and I know most of our friends are not, but we're pissed off and we just want to make sure we get back to what we want to do, and that's fucking make music or just get to see our friends again, go to music events.
Exactly, that's what we want. We just want back to normality.
Yeah, like I want to go back to the gym as soon as possible, but you know, I know the gym's restrictions are supposed to be like limited capacity, it's got to be reserved. you have to book the day before you go through it, and it's like it's not for me.
Yeah.
I have to stop going through it. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see in the next few months to see what happens day by day. Like,
Yeah, as long as we all keep safe, I suppose.
We have to, and we'll just have to see how it goes day by day, like you said. And
Definitely.
if it hits the fan, then it will hit the fan. But at least we can do our best by supporting each other during this crisis moment.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it matters. So I'll leave you the final words before we have to finish, and that's it.
Excellent. Well, Joshua, thanks very much for having me on this. It's been a pleasure. It's been great speaking to you and seeing you again. And keep up the good work, man. Really impressive stuff that you're coming out with at the moment.
I really appreciate that. And the same thing with you. Like, I really appreciate the music you guys have done. You, Owen, Tam, Derek, you know, you guys are doing fucking great with the music. Even Dave.
Thanks very much, man. It's been a lot of time and effort put in, but I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people have not heard of Scordatura, go and listen to them. Go and listen to the 2 albums and just be ready for the 3rd one. As you said, it's likely to be out in August or September time, so be ready for it when it comes out, because it's going to fucking hit the fan when it does. Like, there are going to be some other bands that are going to have their new music coming out, so be ready for that as well in the upcoming time of weeks. Other than that, go and listen to Vision of Disfigurement's album, Annals of Misery. It's fucking decent. I like it. Like, it's got a bit of a variety into it as well.
Yeah.
Steelbirth's got a new track coming soon on the 2nd of July. Go and listen to it when it comes out. Toxins just releasing new music as well. Go and listen to that.
Yes, that new song's incredible.
Fucking hell. I know, we can have a discussion about it on Messenger, because, you know, I need to sort that out.
We should do that. Definitely, let's do that.
Definitely. Yeah, so pretty much everybody who's been watching this and listening to this, thank you very much for putting the time into it and listening to it. It really means a lot. If you are a fan or are new to this, you're more welcome to leave a subscription bell down below on the YouTube page. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. I'm not going to fucking get angry about it. If you want to go and follow me on my Facebook account, though, to make it a bit more helpful with the organic growth, it's called the Joshua Files, all in one word. You're more than welcome to do that. If you don't want to as well, that's completely optional. It's completely fine with me. You know, other than that, thank you very much for everyone to listen to it. And please, by any means, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid, because, you know, we're all going to need to do this together. The easier and the quicker things people do what we've been told to do, it's going to make things better again in the long run. And that's the main important thing. You know, so go and listen to your bands, go and listen to your friends virtually. Just don't do a hangout all the time. Just make sure you communicate with your friends and family, and just make sure you stick together. If you're working, please, by any means, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Even if it's going to risk your health, don't do anything stupid. I know I've got a couple of friends that have gone back to work and they're not happy with everything that's happening. If you think you want to walk away from your job, it's completely your choice, but make sure you're doing it for the right reasons instead of the wrong reasons. Just make sure you just do what you got to do, and just make sure you do it with the right precaution, day by day. Other than that, thank you very much, everybody. Be ready for the next podcast session when I interview Ken England from England. That's going to be out in the next few hours. So please be ready for that, and go listen to them when I do the session. Other than that, thank you very much, everybody. Please stay safe and have a good day. All right?
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.